Shark Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, offer of which can be found on Amazon.com. And P.S. and by the way, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can find all my gear at my website, ChooseYourRelationships.com. And in this video, man, I wanted to talk about the movie by Roxanne Shante that came out on Netflix. Now, if you've been following me for a while, maybe you don't know this about me, but I'm a true hip hop head. I love hip hop. I love music. And I remember when Roxanne Shante first came out. You know, I was a kid. I was pretty young back then. But I remember when the song first came out. And I remember how much of an impact she had on hip hop back in the day. And she's not one of those people that get a lot of props when it comes to hip hop, as far as MCs, as far as who's the best female MC, or who's one of the best MCs of all time. She doesn't get talked about, for whatever reason. I don't really know why that is, but there's a lot that you can learn from her movie that's on Netflix. I saw the movie today, actually, and I liked it. I liked the movie, but I think she should come out with a book, because the movie's about an hour and a half, and it's you can't get but so much with an hour and a half. So I think her coming out with a book after the movie would be a good idea. And the movie got a lot of good ratings, which it deserves or whatever. But there were some good things I liked about the movie. But then again, there was some stuff that I didn't like about the movie. But I also understand that they're not going to be able to get everything in the movie. They're not going to be able to get her entire life within an hour and a half time frame. I get that and I understand that. But the movie basically, hopefully a lot of people haven't seen it. Hopefully you haven't seen it if you're watching me. Basically, she was like one of the first people out of Queensbridge to really do it big as far as hip hop. This is before Nas, before Mobb Deep, before Noriega, this is like when her and Molly Mall, they basically, came up the same time. Biz Markie, MC Shan, this was around the same time, but she came out before they did. But they was all around, they was all in the same circle, basically. And if I'm not mistaken, she was Molly Mall's first artist, if I'm not mistaken, at least by the film, I could say. And basically, she went through a lot of trials and tribulations as far as growing up and coming up in the hip hop game. And, she got jerked, got cheated a couple times. Her mom, she was a single mother. She had 3 younger sisters. Shantae was the oldest, and basically she was trying to use ultimately she was trying to use hip hop as a vehicle to take care of her mom, basically. But Claudia Bishop, she was a lot better rapper than today's rapper, no doubt about it. I agree with that, Claudia, 100%. You know, so basically, she used hip hop as a vehicle to take care of her family. That's what ultimately what she accomplished. But it took her a long road. It took her a long way to get there. It took a long, there's a lot of trials and tribulations, she had to go through. You know, she was jerked a couple times. She got with her so-called boyfriend, and she was 16 and he was he was like had to have been like in his 30s at the time, So, I don't know what to call that. I don't even know if that was legal back then. I don't even remember, to be honest, because I was young back then. Yes, the movie's worth watching. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's worth watching. If you're a true hip hop fan, the movie's worth watching, no doubt about it. So this guy that's supposed to be her boyfriend, he's in the 30s and she's 16, and she ended up moving in with this guy and had a baby with this guy. And this guy basically he got on cocaine. He started sniffing coke where there's a lot of people in the movie that was sniffing coke, because if you know anything about the 80s, cocaine was cool back then in the 80s. So there's a lot of people in the movie that was sniffing coke. Whites and blacks were sniffing coke in the movie. And that's one reason why it was hard for her to get anything done, because everybody was getting high in the movie. Either getting high or getting drunk. I think, I think that's one of the main reasons why she had so much trials and tribulations or whatever. And one thing you have to understand, when you live in these big cities, these big mega cities like New York City, Atlanta, Chicago, LA, Miami, it's almost impossible to have healthy, good relationships in these towns. It's almost impossible. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's very difficult for most people. And especially if your ass is growing up in the projects like she was in the movie. Queensbridge is probably the biggest project I've ever been to anyway. God damn. Queensbridge, these projects is fucking huge. And in that environment, especially in the 80s, when crack cocaine just came out, during that time, it was damn near impossible, to form any type of functional relationship, So that's what she went through. That was her struggle. That's how she came up. So it took her a long time to get to where she wanted to be. She had to go through all the trials and tribulations. She had to get beat up by a boyfriend, then get pregnant by a boyfriend, then get jerked by her business partners. And then at the end of the movie, after she paid her boyfriend $10,000 to get her son back, because this asshole basically kidnapped the son from her. So he was like, give me $10,000 and you can and you can pick your son up. So that's exactly what she did. She borrowed $10,000 from some hustler that she grew up with, basically, got her son back, and moved on with her life, and ended up getting a house in Newark, New Jersey at the time. And her mom and her sisters ended up moving out there. And at the end of the movie, that's basically where it ended. And that's when I kind of like how it ended, even though they had they were jumping from scene to scene very fast, and she wasn't afraid to diss popular male rapper by name either. Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, I kind of like how the movie ended, but they were jumping from scene to scene very fast. You know, that's one thing I didn't like. But I understand that they only have but so much time, and it wasn't like it was a big budgeted movie or anything like that. So I get it. I understand all of that. You know, but at the end of the movie, Nas busts a freestyle, and pretty much that was it. You know, but I think it's worth watching. If you're a true hip hop fan, in my opinion. You know, but it could have been better. But like I said, it's a low budget movie, and I don't really. I know they didn't had a big. I know they didn't have a big budget. I know that, but I think they did the best they can with what they had to work with, and they're getting a lot of good reviews on Amazon. It's what but I ain't seen no bad reviews yet. So more power to her. Much success. But I hopefully she'll come out with a book after the movie. Hopefully, I think it would be in her best interest to come up with a book so she can tell her entire story. You know, but I don't know. Maybe some of those guys, or at least some of the people that she grew up around or that was in her circle, probably would not like the fact that she'll be exposing certain things. Man, I said, take care, brother. I love your channel. Oh, appreciate it, man. Well, Claudia, appreciate that. I'm not sure if you're a man or woman or whatever, but appreciate it though. So yeah, much success, Roxanne Shante, man. Big ups to her. But the funny thing is, when it comes to who's one of the best MCs in the hip hop game, her name is never really signaled out or called out. I find that to be a little interesting. They'll call Lil Kim's name, Foxy. They'll call all these other women, but her name never comes up. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Really. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes. But that's all I got in this video. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.